Okay, welcome to our second synchronous class. And before we start, can you tell me what we did on our first meeting? Anyone who wants to give the summary of what we did last session? Yes, Miss Sabado.
Hello po sir, audible po ba ako? Ano po, last meeting po is nagkaroon lang po tayo ng orientation and nagkaroon po tayo ng parang minigame po na two truths, one lie po.
Okay, so thank you, Kimberly. So that's what we did. So for today's session, this is crucial lesson because dito manggagaling yung first graded activity nyo. Okay, so you need to listen carefully and let's gamify this. Okay, so gamify meaning we will use gamification. So simple lang naman, kung gamification, meron siyang mechanics. And of course, since it's come from the word game, so there is a winner again. Sorry. So very simple mechanics lang. During the discussion, so I'll discuss this. Uh, you have to open your webcam the entire session. Okay? Ang hindi mag-close ng camera, okay, ay may +3 sa quiz natin sa face-to-face. Okay? We'll have a quiz. And kapag naka-open ka the entire time, so yun lang gagawin mo. Open cam the entire session, then may +3 ka. So that's equivalent of, that's the difference between a grade of 2 to 175. So malaking bagay yung +3 points na kasi 20 items lang naman yung magiging quiz natin. Okay? But make sure, guys, na kapag naka-open cam kayo, make yourself presentable. Wala sana naka-sando, okay? At least naka-sleeveless, naka-t-shirt. Walang naka-sleeveless, okay? So make yourself presentable. This is still an online class. So I'll tell you guys when we will start, okay? So Ms. Secretary, help me monitor. When I say start, just take note of those people who will close their webcam. So this is our lesson for today. All right. So let's start with, okay, ready na ba? Wala nang mag-open cam. Pag nag-close ng cam, disqualified na sa mini game natin. Okay, so start na. Last na tawa. Going once, going twice. Okay, let's start. Okay, so our discussion is about morphing into a 21st century teacher. Now, give me a one-word description or your idea, your notion about 21st century teacher. Ano yung one word na naisip nyo? Pag sinabing 21st century teacher, ano naisip mo? Ilagay nyo sa chat box. Okay, digital. That's good. Advanced. Okay. Lahat kayo maglalagay, class. Okay? New. Tama lahat yan. How about the others? Imposibleng wala kayong naiisip. 21st century teacher. Ano yung naisip nyo dun? Okay, digital, nasabi na, advanced, nasabi na. Ano ang iba? Okay, digital era, media, techie. Okay, what else? Okay. So, tama lahat ng mga sinabi nyo, no? So, digital, new, information age, modern, yeah, that's all correct. So, we'll discuss this using this infographics by Mia McMeekin. And the title of this infographic is Morphing into a 21st Century Teacher. Okay, 27 more ways to become a 21st century teacher. So there are 27 ways here from think to, ang dami yan, 27 yan, to game. Okay, by Mia McMeekin. Okay, so simple agenda, explain everything from think to game. Okay, so let's start with think. It says here, think beyond your classroom or your subject matter. Okay, so what does this mean? So I will explain this in a form of an example. Okay, when I was in grade 7, our math teacher, right after our first grading period, okay, hindi siya nagturo. Kasi alam niya, exhausted kaming lahat. So, nagpa-icebreaker activity lang siya, buong klase. So, nagbigay siya ng mga riddle, and malaki yung reward dun sa riddle niya. Sabi niya, ang makahula dito, may +5 direct sa card. Okay? So, and isa sa mga riddle dun is, paano mo pagkakasyahin yung 500 tao sa average size classroom? So, probably 40 square meter classroom. So, paano mo pagkakasyahin yung 500 tao doon? Okay? So, yung premise lang is there should be no inconvenience on the part of those 500 people, okay? And they will live harmoniously without any conflict. Excuse. And yeah, so how would you be able to do that? Anyone who wants to try? 500 people, pagkakasyahin mo sa average size classroom. So, pag nahulaan mo yon, may +5 ka direct sa card. So I want you to try to answer that. Okay? So if you answer that, wala kayong +5 direct sa card. Pero, meron kayong exempted kayo sa unang graded activity natin. Okay? So gusto nyo ba yan? Exempted na kayo? Hulaan nyo lang yung riddle na yon. So notice na there's no play on words. It's a straightforward answer. So paano mo pagkakasyahin yung 500 tao sa average size classroom? Ganun lang. Wala gusto mag-try? Magpapatalo ba kayo sa mga grade 7 students? May nakasagot niyan actually. They need to be there physically. There's no fantasy involved. There's no play on words. It's not a trick question. It's a straightforward answer. How would you fit 500 people inside an average size classroom? Parang yung classroom natin sa sa co-ed, ganun kalaki. Paano mo pagkakasyahin? Think. Come on, guys. Think. Ang laki ng reward. Exempted kayo. Una na kayo kaagad. Yes, Kim.
I try, sir, ha. Di ba ako kahit ano pong sagot, di ba? But, pagka-try ko siyang pagkakasyahin kung bawat isa, like isa-isa. Kunwari, sa 500 people, isa muna papasok sa classroom, tapos next. Gets ko ba?
Hmm. So if you do that, you violate the premise that there should be no inconvenience on the part of 500 people. Okay? So paano yun kapag pagod ka na, di ba? Hindi mo pa schedule. So, isip pa. Isip.
Pwede pa ulit mag-try, sir, pag mamaya.
Oo naman. Hmm. Go ahead, Kyla.
Sir, ask ko lang po kung tao po ba talaga? Kasi if ano po, hindi. Pwede po ba yung puro picture lang sila na 500 na people?
Physically. They need to be there physically.
Iisang room lang po ba, sir?
Yeah, average size classroom. 40 square meter. Ganun natin sukat ng mga average
Isang
size.
classroom lang talaga, sir, magkakasya sa 500 na tao.
Yeah.
Kasi, sir, ang iniisip ko, magkakasya sila if, kunwari, sa isang average classroom, 100 sila doon. Sa isang average classroom, 100. So, magkakasya sila lahat doon.
Isa nga lang, one average size classroom, di ba? Sa number 1 pa lang tayo. Meron pa tayong 26 na i-discuss. Na-stuck na kayo. Madali lang to kasi hindi siya trick question. There's no fantasy involved. It's not play on words. It's a straightforward answer. Very practical. Okay?
Paano, sir, kung yung tao is yung mga pandak, yung maliliit, magkakasya sila doon?
O isipin mo, kahit mga midget sila, 500 tao, magsasapakan pa rin yun kapag pinagkasya mo sa average size classroom, di ba?
Paano kung mahaba naman yung pasensya nila, sir?
You will violate the one of the premise. There's no inconvenience on their part, di ba? They live harmoniously, comfortably.
Sir, pwede yung classroom, hindi siya physical room. Pwede siyang virtual.
No, physical. Physical na eh.
Sirit na, sir.
Ulo. Magpapatalo kayo sa mga grade 7.
Sir, wait lang. Subukan ko
Grade
po.
7 na sagot to?
Parang imposible siya, sir. Kasi kung posible po yung ganyang bagay, edi sana ginawa na siya ng ibang ano, di ba, sir?
Hindi po
As
siya
long
logic, sir,
as
di
you
ba?
don't
Opo, hindi siya
violate,
logic.
as long as you don't violate the premise.
Napakaliit, sir. Tapos dapat like comfortable yung mga tao. Imposible maging kasya yung 500 persons sa isang room na sobrang liit po kung kailangan maging comfortable din sila. Kasi kahit ano pong maging way, sir, talagang hindi sila magiging comfortable kasi siksikan po talaga siya. So,
There
wala
is a way.
Alisin yung upuan.
Okay, so Josrel.
Guess ko lang po, like magkakaroon ng, kunwari, like may pang umaga.
Okay,
Di ba like sa
scheduling.
isang classroom, like, opo, kunyari may pang umaga para magkasya sila. Ano, nagigets ba ako? Gulo ko. Basta may pang
Then,
umaga, may pang hapon. Ganun.
you will violate the premise, di ba? There should be no inconvenience on the part of the 500 people. They should live there harmoniously. Huwag niyong i-chat GPT kasi masasagot yan ni chat GPT. Madali lang yan. Wala
What
bang
if, sir,
ChatGPT yan.
papasukin sila, tawag nun, one at a time?
Okay, tapos?
One at a time. Tapos ayun, magiging, na sila nun, magiging comfy na sila dun. Wala nang something, di sila comfy, ganun. One at a time, isa muna, tapos
Paano
magkakasya muna.
pang pag 450 ka? Antok ka na.
Hindi yun, sir. Kung gusto mo talaga makapasok dun sa classroom na yun, papasok siya talaga.
So si Doreen. Go, Doreen.
Hmm?
Sir, di ba po ang sabi lang yung lawak? Paano po yung taas? Pwede pong lagyan ng divider or floors. Yung lawak lang naman po yung sinasabi, hindi po yung taas para ma-occupy po yung space sa taas.
Okay, so ganun lang guys. Very straightforward answer, di ba? Lalagyan mo lang ng floor. So, first floor, second floor, kasi wala namang ibang sagot dyan. Yun lang. Iniisip nyo kasi, ano lang, two-dimensional. So, you need to think outside the box. Kasi ito lang yung average size classroom. So, para mag-fit yung 500 na tao, then i-elevate mo, lagyan mo second floor, third floor, di ba? Para yung concept ng condo. So, ganun lang yung sagot. Okay? And there is no other answer to that but to add more floor. Hindi mo na-violate yung premise. Average size classroom pa rin yun. And comfortable yung 500 tao. So, yun lang yung sagot dun. Okay? So, the reason why I can still remember that event took place even before you were born. Mga 20 years ago na yun. So, naalala ko yun kasi ako yung nakasagot dyan. So, binulong ko lang siya. Sabi ko, lagyan ng second floor. Tapos, sabi ni Sir Abila, sino nagsabi nun? Sino nagsabi nun? Tinuro ko ng mga classmate ko. So, yung grade ko na 79 is naging 84. Di ba? Kaya tuwan-tuwa ako nung moment na yun. Kaya up until this very moment, naaalala ko pa rin siya. So, yun. So, think beyond your classroom or subject matter. Masasabi ko na si Sir Abila ay isang 21st century teacher kasi alam niya na pagod yung mga estudyante niya. And kapag nagturo siya ng math right after a periodical exam, then less yung retention sa mga estudyante niya. So nagpa-icebreaker activity siya. Okay? So next, include the world in your lesson. So literally Skype with a class in a foreign country. So ito class, possible na siya kasi because of technology. Okay, so I'm sure meron tayong counterpart, meron ding BITLED sa ibang Southeast Asian countries such as, let's say, sa Thailand, kaya sa Chiang Mai University, meron ding BITLED HE doon. So, we can benchmark to them. Okay, pwede na tayo makipag-cooperate sa kanila. Oy, mga BITLED HE dyan sa Chiang Mai University, ano yung pinagkakaabalahan nyo? Okay, so ano ba yung mga activities na ginagawa nyo? So because of technology, that is a possibility now. So include include the world in your lesson. And next is look for ways to involve with the community. Napapansin nyo ba, class? Lahat ng organization, university, company, lahat yan, meron silang program to give back to the community. Okay? So, let's say GMA, di ba? Meron silang Kapusong Totoo, Jollibee, they provide school supplies sa mga indigenous communities, etc. So sa College of Education, ang ways natin to give back to the community is our CELC. So meron tayong preschool. Aware ba kayo doon? Na meron tayong minamanage na preschool. Yung mga nagtuturo doon is mga third year college co-ed students. Okay? So imagine that yung meron tayong school sa loob ng school. So ganun katindi yung community service, ay community give back natin sa co-ed. Kaya malaki yung points, yung accreditation level ng College of Education. Okay? Anong level ng accreditation ng co-ed? Anyone? So nakakaalam? We are level 4. Okay? So level 4 yung co-ed. Now, wala kayong dapat ipag-alala. Kasi kapag level 4 yung pinag-graduatean yung kolehiyo, ibig sabihin, sure na valid yung course nyo. Meaning, wala kayong dapat ipag-alala na pag-graduate nyo, na hindi mawawala yung course nyo. Kasi nangyayari to sa mga schools yan sa Quiapo. Ang daming maritime training center, maritime colleges na nag-offer ng pagiging seaman, transport management. Then they found out after they graduate na kahit level 1 hindi makapasa sa accreditation yung school na yon. Which is kawawa yung mga graduate kasi pag gumraduate ka sa isang institution na kahit level 1 lang hindi ka pa nakapasa, ang ibig sabihin lang nun invalid yung course mo. 'Di ba ang saklap, 4 years ka nag-aral then invalid pala yung course mo dahil hindi makapasa sa accreditation yung pinanggalingan mong school. Which is a co-ed, hindi mangyayari yan kasi we are level 4 accredited. Meron tayong ways to give back to the community. So very important yung pag-give back sa community kasi hindi magfa-function yung isang company, organization, university without any program to give back to the community. Kaya as a 21st century teacher, we need to be aware of ways to give back to the community. Ganun lang. Okay? So next is have. Okay, have a cause that students can foster, can identify with, and foster social responsibility. Ito naman, as a 21st century teacher, we should have a theme every semester. So for example, yung theme natin is tema is, let's say, environmental awareness or animal welfare campaign or anti-sexual harassment or healthy living, okay? Environmental friendly. So yun yung mga tema na pwede nating i-implement sa classroom natin. Okay? So next, after have, ano yung after have? Nakikita nyo ba yung ano natin? Infographics? Anyone? Pakibasa nga yung next have. Nasa GC siya. Okay, so show students people from around the world. Okay, so again, we are currently in a point in time where we can easily show people from other countries. kung ano yung pinagkakaabalahan nila para internationally benchmark tayo. Okay, naka-align tayo internationally. Hindi lang tayo nakakulob sa mga pinagagawa natin locally. Masasabi natin na yung mga activities na pinagagawa natin dito is pasensya na guys, gumilid muna kayo. Kaya dito ka dyan. Ako sa baba. Yan. Okay, so going back, show, yun. Next is use technology. So what does use technology means? Sa tingin mo ba magiging 21st century teacher ka without using technology? So there is no way for you to become a 21st century teacher kung hindi ka gagamit ng technology. So that is really necessary, using technology. Okay? Now, they said that if you use technology, okay, ano ba yung pinaka-prevalent or number one technology ngayon? Ano, lagay nyo sa chat box. What's the number one technology right now? Okay, so phone, okay, AI. Okay, AI. So let's put it this way. So teacher will not be replaced by AI. Okay? So totoo 'yun. Hindi naman tayo mapapalitan ng AI, pero yung teacher na hindi gumagamit ng AI is papalitan ng teacher na gumagamit ng AI. So wag kayong maging guilty kung gumagamit kayo ng AI kasi ito na yung training grounds nyo. Okay? So ang saklap naman nun, kung buong college life nyo, pinagbawala kayo gumamit ng AI, then nung nasa workplace na kayo, lahat ng kasama nyo nakadepende sa AI. That's the reality now. Okay? We cannot escape artificial intelligence. So, might as well use it. Okay? So, ngayon pa lang, i-utilize na natin yung paggamit ng artificial intelligence. Kasi ngayon pa lang may stigma in using it. But time will come that it will really the norm. Ngayon pa nga lang nagiging norm na eh. Alam niyo kung bakit? Kasi one time, nag-down yung ChatGPT, then nag-viral, then para nagkabistuhan, o ba't alam niyo na nag-down yung ChatGPT? So ibig sabihin, lahat kayo ginagamit yung ChatGPT sa buong corporate world. Kasi nung nag-down yung ChatGPT, nag-viral talaga eh. Na parang hindi makausad yung buong mundo. So nabisto sila na lahat sila gumagamit ng ChatGPT. Next is work. Create lessons where students work with people around the world. So it's like the digital version of writing a snail mail and expecting a reply. Did you do that on your junior high? So gumawa ka ng sulat, then sinend nyo sa post office, then you wait for the reply. Ginawa nyo ba yon? Hindi? Kasi baka pandemic era. So kasi ginawa namin yon. So we write a letter to someone, then we send it through post office, then wait for their reply. So just to be familiar with writing a letter. Pero ngayon, digital age na, we can do that digitally. Okay, we can ask for someone to send them a message and hoping for their reply. So probably if we want to subject about video production, we can send an email to a film director to give talk about videography and cinematography. So yun na yung norms ngayon. As a 21st century teacher, it's not limited to the old school way. Lahat na ngayon, we can approach anyone who are expert on the fields to give us knowledge about that. Okay? So next, after work is, check nyo nga sa infographics. So I'll know that you're monitoring it. What's next up? Yon, capture. So again, this is first time in history na lahat ng mga estudyante ay may video capturing device or may device na nakakapag-take ng video. Okay? So first time to in history of mankind. In millions of years. Ngayon lang, first time na lahat ng tao mayroong video capturing device sa bulsa nila. And we are not maximizing its potential. So naalala ko dati nung may seminar yung co-ed faculty, lahat kami, Ladin, nila Ma'am Soto, yung speaker namin, right every slide, di ba nagde-discuss yung speaker, resource speaker, right after slide na diniscuss niya, sinasabi niya sa amin, okay, so before I explain or discuss the next slide, I want everyone to get their phone, so pinalabas niya yung phone namin, then i-vlog nyo kung ano yung natutunan nyo sa slide na diniscuss ko. Gets nyo? So yun yung mechanics niya. So lahat lahat ni Dean, didiscuss kami kung ano yung natutunan namin sa slide na yon na pinresent niya. Okay? Pagkatapos namin gawin yon, sa kanya i-discuss yung next slide. Okay? So next slide na tayo. Then so on and so forth. So ganun yung naging mechanics niya. So kung hindi man namin maalala lahat ng discuss niya, may naiwan sa phone namin, which is crucial information about the topic na pwede namin balikan. So that's one way of utilizing the video recording capability of your mobile phones. Okay? And of course, for documentation and to document everything, to capture video. So utilize your camera phones. Okay. Next is become aware of good teachers and contact them. Ang example ko dito sa good teacher is si Sabrina Ongkiko. Kilala niyo ba si Sabrina Ongkiko? So si Sabrina Ongkiko is nag-talk siya sa TEDx Ateneo. Okay? So galing siya sa isang mayamang pamilya na dapat magdodoktor siya. Pero sinubukan niyang maging public elementary school teacher. So nagturo siya sa Kulyat Elementary School. Okay? So shinare niya dun sa TED Talk na yun yung mga na-experience niya. Yung mga may co-teacher siya na kahit senior citizen na, nag-i-strive pa rin para matuto ng computer para makasabay sa mga estudyante niya. Meron din siyang co-teacher na pag nakikita niya daw, nasabihan siya na, oh, hindi ka ba magre-resign? Ako, resign na ako. Pero araw-araw pa rin nagpapakita para magturo. Okay? So doon niya nakita lahat ng problema kasi elementary school yun sa isang slum area. So which is really the core of the problem of Philippine education. So shinare niyo sa TED Talk na yun and napakaganda ng TED Talk na yun. So highly I advise you to watch that TED Talk of Sabrina Ongkiko. I'll give you the link soon. So yon, become aware of good teacher and let your students know about them. Then listen. Listen to experiences of people around you. Now, yung course natin is very broad. Okay? So, isang beses nag-agri-fishery kayo, tapos susunod na beses na kayo, nag-automotive na kayo, nag-ICT na kayo, nag-electricity na kayo. So, napakaraming area. Okay? So, hindi natin alam kung isa sa atin pala, expert dun sa area na yun. Okay? So, we need to listen. For example, yung topic nyo about home economics, di ba? Yung topic about native delicacies. Okay. Then, isa pala sa mga classmate nyo, family business nila yung pagtitinda ng mga native delicacies. Then, dun sa topic nyo na yun yung topic nyo sa araw na yun, hindi nyo man lang napakinggan yung best practices. Okay? Yung mga ginagawa dun sa industry na yun. Kasi we failed to listen. Now, for us to know who is expert on that field, kung kayo yun, okay, initiate, dapat proactive kayo para malaman din namin na para matuto kami sa nalalaman nyo. Kasi kayo yung magaling sa area na yun eh. Tapos hindi namin maririnig yung boses nyo dun sa certain topic na yun. 'Di ba? It's a big missed opportunity. So we need, as a 21st century teacher, we need to listen to people around us. Next is create, okay? Ito related dito yung activity natin. So create, you will create something. So next, invent. Let students invent new ways to solve old problem. You know, class, the problem with innovation in the Philippines compared to first world countries, napakababa ng patent, copyrighted materials, tsaka inventions ng Pilipinas. Kung i-compare natin sa ibang bansa, yung mga first world country, US, Japan, China, South Korea, yung naka-file na invention, innovation, patent, and copyrighted materials sa bansa nila is nasa millions na. Sa Pilipinas, wala pang 10,000. So just imagine the gap in innovation to our country, to other countries. Napakalayo. And we need to nurture it, the innovation, kasi alam nyo ba kapag may na-invento kayo na isang bagay o na-discover kayo, nakapa-copyright nyo, automatic promotion yan, one-step promotion. So kung iba sa inyo gusto maging teacher, di ba? Pagpasok nyo, teacher 1 kayo, pag meron kayong product na exclusive sa inyo, kayo yung naka-invento, automatic one-step higher promotion yun. So teacher 2 ka na kagad. So paano pag may 5 invention ka, di ba? So 5-step higher kagad yan sa promotion. So master teacher ka na kagad dahil sa mga invention mo. So that's the invent new ways to solve all problem. We need to really harness the invention. Kasi sa ibang bansa, kahit napakasimpleng kahit sa user interface lang, nagkakatalo, naka-file yan, naka-patent yan. For example, yung laban ng Apple and Samsung, alam niyo ba kung bakit kinasuhan ni Apple si Samsung? Dahil lang sa napakasimpleng user interface feature. Okay? So sa Apple, pag naka-iPhone ka, chinek mo yung photo gallery. Pag nasa dulo ka na, wala ka nang maswipe, nasa dulo na. Sa iPhone, pag sinwipe mo yung image, di ba parang may goma na kapag binitawan mo, babalik siya? Ganun yung feature ng Apple, di ba? So para siyang hinahawakan mo yung picture na kapag dulo na nung gallery, wala na, is babalik, magba-bounce back yung image, di ba? Pag binitawan, pag in-swipe mo, hawak mo yung picture, pag binitawan mo, babalik siya para magba-bounce back. And kinopya yun ng Samsung. Kinasuhan ng Apple yung Samsung dahil dun sa napakasimpleng feature na yun kasi nakapatent sa Apple yun. Nagbayad ng $500 million yung Samsung dahil sa napakasimpleng feature na yun na kinopya nila from Apple. Okay? So kaya umaabot sa millions yung innovation sa ibang bansa because of technology. Sila yung leaders sa technology. So lahat yun nakapatent. Kahit na yung napakasimpleng feature na yun sa gallery is hawak ng Apple yung patent nun. Kaya yung mga Android phones ngayon, napaka-boring. Pag tinignan mo sa gallery, nasa dulo ka na ng gallery, pag wala ng ibang picture, wala lang. Parang wala lang, hindi mo na masaswipe. Pero pag Apple yan, nagba-bounce back, di ba? Parang hinahawakan mo talaga yung picture. Meron pang isang estudyante ko, pinropose niya. Sabi niya, "Sir, alam niyo ba, na yung mga janitor fish sa Ilog Pasig. Actually, may gumawa nito sa sa PUP. So nanghuli sila ng drum-drum na janitor fish. Kasi problema yung janitor fish sa Ilog Pasig, di ba? Then pinakuluan nila. Then yung na-extract nilang oil, na-discover nila na highly flammable pala siya. Okay? So pwede siyang maging alternative sa gasoline. Pwede siyang alternative as fuel. So imagine that yung janitor fish na problema natin sa Ilog Pasig is pwede palang ma-convert into fuel. And mga PUP students naka-discover niyan eh. So I'm not sure kung ano lang nangyari sa ano. Pero na-feature pa yun sa Rated K. Wala pang KMJS nun eh. Rated K pa siya. Ganun siya katagal. And yun, isa yun sa mga bagay na dapat i-ano natin, i-encourage na mag-discover ng kung ano-anong bagay, 'di ba? So, kahit nga yung ano eh, 'di ba pag nagsaing ka, pinaghugasan, yung unang hugas, ilagay mo sa lalagyanan. Pag nag-settle na yun, 'di ba parang mayroong ointment substance sa ilalim niya? 'Di ba? So, subukan nyo, pag nagsaing kayo, yung unang hugas, ilagay nyo sa, ano, basta ilagay nyo sa plato, sa, ang tawag yun, balde, planggana. Then, pag nag-settle siya, parang may ointment na sa ilalim. Sino nakagawa nun? Then, yun pala is highly, ano siya, anti-inflammatory. Meaning, kapag in-apply mo siya sa namamaga na sugat or sa mga pimple mo, di ba? Mamaga yung pimple mo. Since anti-inflammatory yun, pag nilagay mo siya sa mukha mo, matutuyo yung inflame or namamaga mong mga tagyawat kasabay nung ointment na yun. So, that's a very effective. So, isa yun sa mga product na dapat i-develop. Di ba? So, pwede nyo nang ano yun, kopyahin yung idea ko. So, pangalanan nyo na ano, rice anti-inflammatory ointment, di ba? So, yon. We need to invent. Let students invent new ways on how to solve old problems. Next is be aware of students that may know more about technology. Okay? So, what does this mean? So ako, millennial ako. Kayo, Gen Z. Yung mga magiging estudyante nyo, mga Gen Alpha. Okay? Sila yung generation na pinanganak na may hawak na tablet. Okay? So just ready na ba kayo? Turuan yung mga Gen Alpha na pinanganak na may hawak na tablet na hindi makakain ng hindi nakatingin sa screen. So yun yung mga magiging future students nyo. So, yung mga millennial, siguro, first 10 years ng buhay nila, walang technology. Sa kalye kami nakatira. So, kayo naman, first 6 years ng buhay nyo, walang technology. Siguro nakahawak lang kayo ng technology nung grade 1 na kayo. Pero yung Gen Alpha talaga, yon 18 months pa lang, nakatablet na. Kaya wala pang 2 years old, nakatablet na. So, we need to accept the fact na they are more technologically inclined than us. So hindi mo alam, di ba? Nagdi-discuss ka, then naka-smartwatch sila. Habang nagdi-discuss ka, naka-voice activated yung smartwatch nila. So lahat ng pinagsasabi mo, kino-cross-reference nila in real time doon sa smartwatch nila. Okay? So wala nang, parang pag nagdi-discuss ka, there's really no room for error while you are discussing kasi kino-cross-check ka na. Hindi pa nga kasama dyan yung smart glasses. Diba? Smart glasses is the next big thing in technology. Naniniwala ba kayo doon? Smart glasses. Diba? Nakasalamin ka lang. Seamless lang. Yung nilabas ng Meta ngayon. Ray-Ban Meta. Diba? So, it's like the usual eyeglasses. Pero, nandun na nakalagay lahat. Kung sa smartwatch pa nga lang, cross-reference ka na nila. What if anong kayang gawin ng smart glasses? Okay? 5-10 years from now, almost lahat ng estudyante naka-smart glasses na, including the teacher. Okay? So, mas widely distributed na siya. Parang smartphone. Lahat na ng tao may ganyan. Next is incorporate the parents. Okay, next is the concept of learning management system, LMS. So maybe, pag naging teacher na kayo, lahat ng activity nyo is napapaloob na sa LMS, Learning Management System. Okay? So learning management system is like a social media but for learning. Parang LinkedIn, di ba? Yung LinkedIn is for corporate world. Pero, dinesign siya para maging mukhang social media. Okay? So, ang mga member, take note to, lalabas to sa quiz nyo. Yung mga member pwedeng mag-sign up sa learning management system or of course students, teachers, administrators, and the parents. So parents have read-only access sa learning management system para ma-monitor nila kayo. Okay? So that's one way to incorporate parents. So what's next after incorporate? Paki-chat sa chat box.
Evolve po.
Yes, very good. So thank you, John. Evolve. So as a 21st century teacher, you need to evolve. Okay? Nung pandemic, madaming faculty, daming professor ang nag-early retirement because they fail to evolve. Hindi nila kaya mag-adapt sa online class. So, maraming mga professor, kahit nasa 55 pa lang, nag-early retirement na kasi ayaw na nila mag-dive sa online classes. Kasi di na rin naman nila kaya, parang hindi na natin sila masisi. So, pero as a 21st century teacher, we need to adapt talaga. Okay? So, let's say, 20 years from now, okay, mga teacher na kayo, lahat kayo, ano na, yung iba sa inyo, professor na, yung iba sa inyo, nasa public high school, di ba? Teacher, then malaki na sahod ng teacher, mga 50K per month na. So, mga teacher na kayo kunyari. Okay? Then, nagkaroon ng memo, yung DepEd or yung CHED. Sabi dun sa memo, okay, starting this school year, 100% implementation ng smart glasses. Okay? So, lahat kayo, kailangan na gumamit ng smart glasses. Lahat ng estudyante nyo. So, sponsored ng DepEd yun. Lahat smart glasses na. Kasi ganyan na yung way ng pagdidiscuss sa loob ng classroom. Okay? So, kung nagtuturo ka ng automotive, imagine nagdadissect kayo ng kotse sa loob ng classroom. Yung engine niya. Okay? Dinadissect nyo using smart glasses. Kasi yun yung nakikita nyo. Augmented reality yung technology na yun. Augmented reality. Merging digital and physical spaces. So that technology exists right now in the medical field. Kasi sila lang yung can afford right now. Okay? So imagine yung mga doctor na nag-aaral ngayon ng anatomy. Instead of dissecting a cadaver or a dead body na binibili nila sa mga morgue, yung smart glasses yung ginagamit nila to dissect it. Okay? Kasi doon na yung it's more practical to do it and it's more safe. Okay? So, right now, it sounds science fiction, but it's only a matter of time that it will become your reality. Okay? So, ipapaintindi ko sa inyo yung concept ng augmented reality. Okay? In a very simple, practical way. Sa loob ng mga classroom sa COED, merong evacuation plan. Nakikita nyo ba yon? Evacuation plan. Hindi ba kayo tumitingin sa mga classroom? Di ba may evacuation plan? Alright. So magsimula tayo sa evacuation plan na yan. Okay. Kung augmented reality, AR enabled, yung evacuation plan na yon at may smart glasses ka, pagtingin mo dun sa evacuation plan na yon, lalabas yung mismong tao. Ituturo sa'yo kung saan ka tatakbo in case of emergency. Nai-gets nyo ba yung practical usage ng augmented reality? So, lalabas siya. Ituturo niya sa'yo, okay, you are here. In case of emergency, may animation yun, nakalabas. Parang mahahawakan mo siya. So, pupunta ka dito. So, ganun yung practical usage ng augmented reality, which will become the normal occurrence. Okay? 10 years from now, lahat na naka-smart glasses. Yan na yung normal sa loob ng classroom. So if you fail to evolve, then you are not a 21st century teacher. Sabi mo, ayokong i-adapt yung technology niyan. So magre-resign ka na lang, magre-retire ka na lang. Next is Plan B. Okay. So as a teacher, kayo, education students kayo. Okay. There should be no incident na kapag may presentation kayo, sasabihin nyo sa teacher nyo, sa prof nyo, sir, nakurap po yung PowerPoint presentation ko. Hindi ako makakapag-present. Kasi As a 21st century teacher, lagi kang may redundancy or may backup, may plan B. Okay? So, ano yung plan B mo? Isa-save mo sa flash drive. Isa-send mo sa messenger mo, sa sarili mo. Isa-send mo sa email. So, marami kang redundancy, marami kang plan B. So, there is no way na makokorapan ka ng PowerPoint presentation. Okay? Kasi 21st century teacher ka. Next is practice using technology before the class begins. Okay, again, eduk student kayo, marami kayong presentation. What if may kailangan kayong ipakitang video sa klase na part ng presentation nyo? So, syempre, video yon dapat may audio. So, dapat practice nyo na kung rinig ba ng lahat yung speaker na yon, kung meron ka bang aux connector, or meron ka bang VGA to HDMI adapter, okay? So, yung mga maliliit na bagay na yon dapat ready ka na kasi na-practice mo na yon. So, kapag may isa kang classmate na namumroblema kasi yung video presentation niya is walang audio, then sabihin mo sa kanya, you are not being a 21st century teacher right now. Kasi wala siyang plan B. I mean, wala siyang backup plan. Dapat pinractice niya na yon. Okay? So, dapat wala nang mga ganong incident, especially sa mga eduk students. Dapat marami kayong redundancy. Next is team up. Okay, ito naman yung framework na pwedeng mag-work sa classroom. For example, isang section, hahatiin sa dalawa. Yung group 1, tuturuan mo ng certain concept. Yung group 2, tuturuan mo rin ng certain concept. And you ask the group 1 to teach that concept to group 2 and vice versa. Are you getting it? Kasi, in that way, that particular group will have experience teaching yung concept na kakaturo mo lang sa kanila. And same is with the group 2. Kasi the rationale there is, if you want to learn something, learn it as if you are going to teach it. Okay? So kung may gusto kang matutunan, pag-aralan mo siya na parang ituturo mo siya sa iba. Kasi wala kang way, wala kang choice, kundi pag-aralan talaga siya. Kasi ituturo mo siya eh. Di ba? Ano ituturo mo kung di mo na pag-aralan? So kapag may gusto kang mapag-aralan, yun nga, pag-aralan mo siya in a way as if ituturo mo siya. Alright? So, para yung retention is very high. So for example, foreign language, di ba? Gusto mong matuto ng Korean or Japanese. Habang pinag-aaralan mo siya, imagine mo yung sarili mo na ituturo mo siya. Yun, para maintindihan mo talaga. Next is arts. Yan. Integrate arts. So, marami tayong gagawin ganito sa Introduction to Industrial Arts 1. Okay, so expect nyo na. And related din dito yung magiging activity natin sa session na to, arts. So may clue na kayo. Ang swerte ng exempted. Next is risk. Again, once you become an eduk student, magfa-flashback sa inyo lahat ng mga pinagagawa ng mga naging teacher nyo. Yeah, that's true. May imagine nyo, ano pinagagawa ng mga teacher ko? Bakit sila ganun? Ngayong eduk students ka na, yun, maaalala mo sila. So mag-isip kayo ng isang bagay na yung teacher nyo nag-take ng risk para matuto kayo. Okay? One example is binigay ng estudyante ko sa kabilang section. Sabi niya, "Sir, nung high school kami, second year high school, sa biology, nag-risk yung teacher namin na ipagamit yung 3 microscope na nakalock doon sa science laboratory para lang ma-experience namin firsthand para makita yung mga single-celled organisms, di ba? In firsthand. So that's risk kasi baka masira yung microscope, di ba? But the teacher, being a 21st century teacher, took the risk to have them use it. Kahit mapagalitan pa siya ng head teacher niya. So mga ganong incident. So I want you guys to participate in this one. Think of an event on your life where your teacher took a risk para matuto kayo. Abon.
Ano ulit po, sir? Sorry. Think of an event of our life na tinuruan po ng
Na,
teacher.
na nag-take ng risk.
Take ng risk sa amin ng teacher.
Oo, para matuto kayo.
Siguro, sir, for me yung siguro in the future, na, wait lang, paano ko ma-explain? Wait lang, sir.
Sige, mag-isip ka muna, Kim. Sige, Kyla muna, okay? Balikan ka namin. Go, Kyla.
Nung naalala ko lang sir nung nakwento yung sabi ng isang estudyante na yung sa amin naman po, mga elementary pa lang po kami nito. Pinagamit sa amin nung teacher namin yung telescope. As in telescope po talaga, given the fact na mga pa kami ng mga bata, may risk doon na pwede naming masira or kung ano man. So, para lang maituro niya na ganito yung parts ng telescope, ayan po.
Okay, yeah. Very good example, Kyla. Next, Kiara.
Audible po ba ako, sir?
Yeah.
Same lang din po. Sa akin naman po is yung sa FBS class po namin. Ano po, naglabas po ng mga tools pang restaurant yung teacher po namin. Mga babasagin po siya like mga plates, different types of plates, cups, ganun pa, mga glass. And wala po kaming sariling FBS room nung time na yon. Kaya ang ginawa niya po, siya lang nag-akyat lahat nun from second floor to fourth floor po ata kasi pang fourth po yung room namin. Tapos inisa-isa niya po. Tapos may time po na tinutulungan namin siya kahit may muntik na pong malaglag or mabasag, hinayaan niya pa rin po kaming gamitin yun para
Yeah. Okay, good example, Kiara. Thank you for sharing. Next, John.
May audible po.
Yeah.
Sa akin po sir, nung elementary po ako, yung PE teacher po namin, since gusto namin ng mga kaklase ko na mag-play ng volleyball sa quadrangle, pinush niya pa rin po para makapag-play lang po kami, para matuto po kami kung paano laruin yun. Even sa quadrangle po kasi namin sir, nandun din po yung stage. Pwede po namin matamaan yung electric fan na mabasag. At least, nag-take pa rin po ng risk yung PE teacher namin para lang po matuto kami. Since before po, hindi pa po available sa amin yung basketball court or yung PE place po namin.
Okay, so yeah, that's a risk para matuto kayo. Next, Mary Rose.
Ako po, sir, ay, rinig po pa po ako?
Yeah.
Ako po, sir, is nung tinuruan po ako nung grade 12 po ako, tsaka ng grade 11, same teacher po. Tinuruan niya po ako magkalas po ng CPU since ICT po ako nung grade 11 and grade 12. Yung magkakalas po tapos ibabalik, gumagana po yun, pero nag-risk po siya na kailangan maibalik ko ng tama po yun. Nag-trust siya sa akin na maibabalik ko ng tama yun para mapagana pa din po. Yun po.
Oh yeah. Probably you're saying that the system unit, okay? Because the CPU is the actual CPU. That's different from the system unit. Oh yeah. Actually, gagawin natin yan. May hardware servicing part tayo dito sa Introduction to ICT. So magkakabit kayo from motherboard to CPU, to RAM, to GPU, to PSU, then ko-connect sa case. Yan, lahat yun gagawin natin. Okay? So, yes, Samantha?
Audible po ba, sir?
Yeah.
Ano po, sir, nung time na elementary po kami nun, sir, yung teacher po namin sa science, wala po siya. So, yung sub-teacher po namin, hindi po namin totoong teacher, ganun po. So, since sub-teacher po siya, may nakatoka po kaming lab experiment. Sinabihan po siya ng teacher namin na science teacher na wag daw po gagamitin o wag na daw po ituloy yung mga lab experiment that day po. Pero tinuloy pa rin po namin para po maka-drop off na po kami sa next topic.
Okay. So yeah, that's a risk really na kailangan talaga para matuto. Kasi hindi pwedeng confine lang kayo sa isang classroom. Sabi nga class nung ano, especially sa Introduction to Industrial Arts natin. Marami tayong materials na bibilin. Bibili tayo ng grinder, bibili tayo ng ay, no, not the grinder. Bili kayo ng mga basta mga gagastos kayo, bibilin siya Shopee, mga materials. Kasi magano tayo doon, 3D printing. Meron tayong wood block printing. So yon, baka masugat kayo doon kasi yung wood block is kailangan yung bumili ng materials para magawa yung activity na yun. So yeah. Juice reel. Nakamute ka? Isolta ka na ba? We can't hear you, Juice reel. Okay. So mayroon ding isang scene dun sa movie na Teacher's Diary. Have you seen that movie, guys? The Teacher's Diary. It's a Thai movie. And maganda yung movie na yun. May isang scene doon na para maturo niya yung concept ng buoyancy, kay paglutang ng mga bagay-bagay. Instead of teaching it theoretically, pumunta sila sa swimming pool para doon niya i-demonstrate yung buoyancy. So yun, pinagalitan, sinugod siya ng principal, then pinagalitan siya na baka daw malunod yung mga bata. Well, yun talaga yung risk na kailangan kasi para matuto yung mga bata. Okay? And also, nag-aaral kayo sa Polytechnic University. Okay? Hands-on talaga. So, hindi naman to theoretical university. Kung theoretical university to, then lahat lang ng pag-uusapan natin is puro concept lang. Walang hands-on. Polytechnic to. So, hands-on talaga. Okay? Tapos ka na mag-type just real. Okay, so yes, Mikael. Nakamute ka yata, Ivan. Sira yata mic mo. Hindi ka na marinig. Ivan? Kaya wala akong mic. Tapos ka na ba mag-type Jusrael? Ilagay mo na. Yan. Okay, basahin natin yung sinabi ni Jusrael. Okay. So yeah. So nakapag-dissect sila. Ano dinisect nyo? Palaka ba? So, the mere fact na mag-dissect kayo ng palaka, ano na yun? Risk na yun. Pero nag-collaborate pa yung teacher nila just for you to learn about dissection. So, ang strength ko talaga nung nag-aaral ako, guys, is biology. So, super favorite subject ko talaga yung biology. Sa biology lang ako natutuwa. Sa biology lang ako naka-90. Pero yung iba kong mga subject, wala, mga palakol. Pero sa biology, yun yung pinaka-favorite subject ko. Kaso, ipopursue ko sana yun. Hindi ko kaya yung mga gory na bagay. Yung dugo, yung dissection. So, yun. Okay, Ivan. Ready ka na ba, Ivan? Okay, so sira yata yung mic ni Ivan. Alright, so let's proceed na. Where are we? Yun, wing it. So, as a 21st century teacher, you need to wing it. Be willing to throw the lesson if the class is moving in a better direction. Now, as a teacher, as a 21st century teacher, you need to learn to read the room. Ano ibig sabihin ng read the room? Dapat papakiramdaman mo kung ano yung mood ng klase. So for example, December 16, meron pa kayong face-to-face class. Then nagdi-discuss ka, mga 10:30 a.m. Then nakita mo sa mga mukha ng mga estudyante mo na parang wala na sa wisyo itong mga estudyante ko, parang nasa vacation mode na to. Kasi December 16 na eh. Yung iba sa class estudyante mo baka galing pang simbang gabi. So yon. If you think that way, then meron ka pang ituturo na lesson. So probably, sabihin mo na lang sa kanila, okay, so next year na to. Alam ko wala na kayo sa wisyo, wala na kayo sa mood para matuto pa. So mag-ano lang tayo, icebreaker activity. So yun, if you are a teacher, you need to learn to read the room. Okay? So if you think na yung mga estudyante mo, wala na talaga yung mental capacity nila nasa ibang lugar na, nasa holiday na. So yun, we can learn to read the room, to learn to read your students. Next is okay, last 6 na lang guys. Kapit lang. Okay? Last 6. Ano yung next natin sa wing it? Baka man skip ako isang row. Parang bilis. Evolve. Invent. Okay, wala. Wala naman. So ano yung next sa wing it? Yan, RRR. So what does RRR means? Don't forget the common core. Ito, weird tong abbreviation na to. RRR, pero it means reading, writing, and arithmetic. So as a 21st century teacher, you don't forget the core, the basics. So alam natin yung mga augmented reality, pero hindi natin alam 10% ng 800. Okay? So dapat as a 21st century teacher, hindi tayo nalilito sa its and its na may apostrophe, sa there, and there. Okay? And yung mga basic na math, computation, dapat automatic sa atin yan. Okay? So as a 21st century teacher, we should know those things. Kasi teachers are the most respected part of the community. Napapansin nyo ba yan sa street nyo? Pag mayroong bahay doon na may nakatira na teacher, then may mga batang nag-iingay sa tapat nila. Di ba sinasaway ng mga tao, uy, huwag ka mag-ingay dyan kasi teacher nakatira dyan. Or maybe kapag may mga lasing, uy, huwag kayong tumambay dyan kasi teacher nakatira dyan. Okay? So, teachers are highly regarded member of the society. So, dapat i-align natin yung expectation nila sa atin. So, we should know the basics, yung mga basic grammar rule and basic arithmetic, di ba? We should know it. Next to RRR. Ito, collaborate. Okay, so did you know guys na napapaloob sa ating Code of Ethics for Professional Teacher na kapag may co-teacher ka na nag-approach sa'yo to collaborate with them and tinanggihan mo, that's actually against Code of Ethics. So, ganun ka-importante yung collaboration. Okay? So, for example, si Doreen, teacher na siya. Then, gustong makapag-collaborate ni Doreen kay Samantha. Then, sabi ni Samantha, ayoko, wala, hindi ako interesado. So, it means that that's against Code of Ethics. Kasi you are refusing the flow of knowledge. Dapat makikipag-collaborate kapag may nag-approach sa'yo. Okay? So, hindi mo ikikip sa sarili mo, hindi mo i-gatekeep sa sarili mo yung knowledge mo about certain topics. If you are expert in automotive, then yung isa mong co-teacher, meron silang certain topic about automotive, then share your knowledge to them. Be willing to be a speaker, resource speaker. Okay? So akala nyo pag teacher lang, no? Para puro estudyante lang yung haharapin mo. No, that's not true. Haharapin mo yung mga community, i-share mo yung knowledge mo sa kanila. Kukunin kang resource speaker, mag-i-speech ka sa mga graduation. So ganyan yung teacher. Okay? So naalala ko pa nga may isa akong co-faculty sa COED. 'Di ba sa COED merong secondary education major in English? 'Di ba may mga English major tayo sa COED? Alam nyo ba 'yon? 'Di ba may math major, may science major, may English major. So, meron silang subject na translation. Translation, yun yung subject nila. Then, pinag-aaralan nila yung Cebuano to Tagalog. Alam nung co-teacher ko na fluent ako sa Cebuano. So, kinuha niya akong speaker. So, again, hindi ako pwede tumanggi kasi against Code of Ethics yun. So, pinaunlakan ko sila. So, nag-discuss ako sa lahat ng third year English major sa COED about the difference between Tagalog and Cebuano. Yung mga basic lang naman diniscuss, yung mga nakakatuwang bagay. For example, when someone shout the word langgam in Tagalog, they will look up. But someone from Mindanao, they will look, no, baliktad. In Tagalog, they will look down. And Cebuano, they will look up. Kasi yung langgam sa Cebuano, sa Bisaya, is bird, right? Anything that moves and anything that flies, langgam yung tawag namin dyan. Okay? So yun. And also, yung word na nindot. Ano ibig sabihin ng nindot? Pag sinabihan ka ng nindot sa Mindanao, ma-offend ka ba? So, ang ibig sabihin ng nindot, anyone, may nakakaalam ba? So, pag pabisita ka sa Cebu, then sinabihan ka na nindot, huwag kang ma-offend. Kasi ang ibig sabihin niyan, cute or maganda. Maganda ka. Okay? So, yun. Yun yung mga bagay na. Also, yung para, di ba? Ito hindi, well, Hiligaynon is also a dialect of Bisaya. So, consider na rin to. Yung para nila sa, I think sa Iloilo, is bangga lang, di ba? So, kuya bangga lang. Pag bababa ka na ng jeep, yung para nila is bangga lang. So, syempre, pag sinabi mo dito yung kuya bangga lang, o, di ba? So, that is dangerous. So, yung para nila, kuya para is bangga lang. So, yun yung mga bagay na yun. Ano pa ba? Marami yun eh. And, so yun. Meron akong ano eh, pamangkin na nag-OJT sa GMA. Galing siya ng Mindanao. Then hindi niya alam yung word na para. Para lang pala sasabihin mo para huminto yung jeep. Alam niyo kung anong sinabi niya sa driver para huminto yung driver. Sinabi niya, pakihinto ang sasakyan sapagkat kami ay bababa. Yun yung sinabi niya. Kasi wala siyang way para sabihin para. Hindi niya alam yung word na para. So gusto niya bumaba. So yun sinabi niya in Tagalog. Diba? Marunong mag-Tagalog yung mga Bisaya. So, yun, para huminto. So, di ba na-enlighten na sila sa translation ng subject nila dahil sa akin. Then also yung, may isa pang word eh, yung libog, di ba? In Cebu means confused. So, if out of nowhere, narinig yung word na libog sa isang Bisaya, hindi bastos yun. Okay? It's just, nako-confuse lang siya. Okay? Kaya may mga galing sa Mindanao, nag-aral sa COED, misunderstood, 'di ba? Parang sabi ng mga classmates nila, parang kung ano-ano yung sinasabi. Pero ano lang sila, yun lang yung term nila sa mga bagay na yun. Next, design. Design. Let the students design the lesson. So again, importante na may as a 21st century teacher, magaling ka mag-solicit ng knowledge sa mga estudyante mo kasi yung understanding ng mga estudyante mo, naka-base sa understanding mo. So, di ba, may lesson, pag-aaralan mo. Kung ano yung naiintindihan mo, yun yung i-deliver mo sa mga estudyante mo. Eh yung teacher, hindi naman yan all-knowing. Okay? Hindi lahat ng bagay alam ng teacher. Ang ahead lang ng teacher sa mga estudyante is yung experience nila. Okay? So sa isang classroom, hindi automatic, no? Malayo sa katotohanan na ang teacher ang pinakamatalino sa classroom. It's not. Ang teacher ang may pinakamaraming experience sa loob ng classroom. So yun yung core concept ng teaching. Okay? So anong ibig sabihin nito, ng word na to sa Eastern culture? Eastern, Japanese, Korea, China, Taiwan. Okay, yung word na sensei, ano ibig sabihin yan? It means, sensei, yes, teacher. So let's dissect the word sensei. So, ang ibig sabihin ng sen is ahead. Ang ibig sabihin ng sei is life. Okay, so a teacher is just someone who is ahead of life sa mga estudyante nila. So, ang estudyante naman, ang estudyante sa Japanese is gakusei. Yan. Ang ibig sabihin ng gaku is to learn. And sei is again life. Okay, so teacher is someone who is ahead of life. A student is someone who wants to learn life. So saan nila matutunan yun is someone who is ahead of them. So, and that is the experience of the teacher. Okay? So may mga certain concepts na kailangan nating maintindihan because the understanding comes from the interpretation of the students is also important on the lesson. Kaya class, huwag kayong timid. Alam niyo yung timid? Yung alam niyo naman yung isang bagay pero hindi niyo sinishare. So, dapat proactive din kayo. If you know something that will add value to the discussion, tell us. Okay? So, sayang naman yung matutunan namin sa inyo, di ba? Na hindi niyo i-share sa amin. Next is social media. Ito, ano na to? Given na to na in today's day and age, we cannot survive without social media. This is how we talk, we interact with each other. As a 21st century teacher, it's difficult to escape social media. Okay, of course, there are negativity revolves around social media, and we have a separate lesson about this as introduction in ICT. Next is pin it. We can gather inspiration in Pinterest. May mga bumibisita ba sa Pinterest dito? Thumbs up nga? Wala? Okay, so you can check for inspiration sa Pinterest kasi maraming mga idea dyan. So, as a 21st century teacher, let's not forget the aesthetic. Okay, let's make the world more beautiful. Okay, lastly is the game. Add a gaming element to your classroom. Allow students to learn, fail, and enjoy learning. So dito sa game is if you gamify or gamification of the classroom, you will talk in the language that your students are very much familiar with. So instead of saying, okay, here's the top 10 for this quarter, you say, okay, here's the leaderboard. Diba? Sa mga video game, leaderboard yung pinapakita. So instead of saying, okay, you have an assignment, sabi mo, you have your new mission uploaded. Okay? So instead of saying students, you will be considered as players. Okay? You are playing a game. Instead of saying grade, you say high scores. Okay? Ito yung naka-high scores. So, learn to gamify the delivery of in your classroom. And also, gamification from the literal sense, do not be afraid to include icebreaker games. Okay? So, as a 21st century teacher, icebreaker games is necessary. Kasi, pag nag-teaching demo kayo, di ba, sa lesson plan, di ba, motivational activity is a mini game. Meron kayong dedicated 5 to 10 minutes icebreaker activity. Di ba part yan ng lesson plan nyo? Ngayon, mga second year pa lang kayo, hindi nyo pala pag-usapan yan. Pero pag nagde-demo kayo, laging kasama yung game sa teaching demo as your motivational activity. Okay? So there, that is the 27 ways to become a 21st century teacher. So now, ano yung activity nyo? Ang activity nyo is gagawan nyo ng visual representation ang 27 ways na yun. For example, yung evolve. Ano yung visual representation ng evolve? So probably yung theory of evolution ni Charles Darwin, di ba? Or pwedeng Pokeball. Or pwedeng from Charmander to Charizard. Basta evolve. Basta may visual representation. So anong visual representation ng think? Pwedeng light bulb, pwedeng brain, pwedeng aha moment. Okay? So, idodoodle nyo yung 27 ways na yun. Ko-combine nyo siya sa isang doodle that all of those 27 ways should be present in your doodle. And you have to do it the old school way, pen and paper. Hindi pwedeng digital arts. It's really, you have to put it in a short bond paper and submit it on our first face-to-face meeting next week. Okay? So, simple lang, di ba? Ang magiging impact nung doodle nyo is pag pinakita nyo siya sa isang random na tao, ang magiging interpretation niya. Okay, so I think ang interpretation ko ng doodle na to is someone who is a modern teacher, okay? Very very understanding, a risk-taker teacher, very globally competitive, okay? And someone who is really love teaching, something like that, okay? So alam niyo na yun, nagigets niyo na yung gist ng activity na to. Idodoodle niyo yung 27 ways na yun. So dapat lahat yun present, ha? Yung 27 na yun. Starting from think to game and everything in between. So ano yung rubric? Simple lang yung rubric. Very simple. Ito, ilagay ko sa chat box. So 40% accuracy. Sinunod nyo ba yung instruction ko? Okay? Nilagay nyo ba lahat ng 27 na yon? Dinoodle nyo ba siya? Nilagyan nyo ba ng visual representation? From think to game, to design, to wing it, to RRR, to collaborate, di ba? And next is proficiency. Proficiency is how pleasing or how aesthetically pleasant to look at. Kung gaano kaganda yung drawing nyo. So yun, proficiency yun. Okay? Then, the X factor. X nga di ba? Ang ibig sabihin ng X factor is indescribable. Hindi natin ma-describe, pero maganda. Something na creative. Dito papasok yung creativity nyo. Okay? Yung creativity nyo, paano nyo siya isasubmit? So, pwede i-submit nyo lang is QR code. Tapos pag in-scan ko yung QR code, nakalink siya sa sa social media post nyo na kitang-kita lahat ng 27 ways. Then may Starbucks na then naka-aesthetic. Then may hashtag 27 ways to become 21st century teacher. Something like that. Basta how creative you are. in submitting this activity. Okay? So, pwede ding naka-QR code, tapos pag niscan ko, malilink sa YouTube. Tapos hawak-hawak mo yung short band paper, then ini-explain mo, di ba? Malay ko ba kung YouTuber ka, di ba? So, ginawa mo content yun. Okay, so this is the 27 ways to become content. Then, in-explain mo. Pero hawak mo yung papel mo, yung doodle mo. Okay? So, pag-unique ng submission. Kasi 20% yan. O pwede nga, wag ka na mag-submit. Sabihin mo na lang, sir, ako na po yung 21st century teacher. Na-embody ko na, na-absorb ko na. Ako na yung 21st century teacher. Okay, perfect yun sa X factor. Pero wala kang accuracy tsaka proficiency. So, 0 ka pa din. 5 ka pa din. Perfect ka sa X factor, pero wala kang accuracy and proficiency. So, yun. It's up to you to submit that. Okay? So, yun lang ang inyong first graded activity. And congratulations sa ating mga exempted sa activity na to kasi magaling sila maglaro. Okay? So, sino yung exempted ngayon? Sino yung nakasagot ng ano ko? Ng riddle?
Ako po, sir. Fernandez po.
Where is she? Okay. So, si Doreen. And si Doreen at yung tatlo. 1, 2, 3. Tatlo. Okay? Na panalo ng icebreaker activity natin. So, 4 yung exempted sa inyo. Congratulations. So, si Jeline, Mary Rose, Kiara, and Doreen are exempted. Meaning, automatic 1 na yung grade nila sa activity na to. Okay? So, yun lang naman ang ating first ever activity. Then, estudyante ko kayo sa industrial arts, introduction to industrial arts. Dito kayo mapupurdoy. Kasi madami kayong hands-on activity. So we have a meeting on Saturday at 3:15 p.m. So yun lang, class. Do you have any questions? All right. And Miss Secretary, paki-take note ng lahat ng naka-open cam the entire time. Dahil may +3 sila sa 20-item quiz natin. Okay? So, yeah, may +3 na yung lahat ng naka-open cam. Okay. So, if you don't have any more questions, let's have a class picture. Ang makapag-dinner na kayo. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and smile. All right. So, goodbye, everyone. See you on Saturday. Goodbye.